then Onlu goes over a tenth of a second fast.
Good evening, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, we can. We are live. Congratulations. I am alongside the likes of Maximilian Younger and Angel. What's your last name, Angel? Sorry.
Revela.
Yeah, that one. And we are live at the Hungaroring Round 6 Formula Trout Premier Series. And we're currently on board with Nico Bossa of the Younger GP team. And yeah, this is exciting, you know, halfway through the season. I mean, Younger are dominating at the moment, but, you know, to be honest, the door's wide open for any other competition to join the fold. And yeah, hopefully the audio is not too loud. It sounds like it's really loud from my end. But yeah, guys, what are your thoughts going into this race?
I mean, cool. Tight championship battle. Sorry for cutting you off, Maxie, but tight championship battle in the sense. Nico Boss or Cody Lawrence, I think P1, P2, the two favorites right now for the championship coming into the halfway point of the season. The CRG guys fast, but just a couple of mistakes and just some bad luck between both Thomas and Steve, who I don't think are here today. But I do think if they can get these last 5 rounds in check, 6 rounds in order, I think the championship battle should still be alive by the time we reach, what's the final round again? It is Brazil, Interlagos, Classic Trout.
Maximilian Younger, it's your team that are currently leading the championship. What are your thoughts going into this race?
So yeah, I was gonna mention that we're as a team also excited about the drivers' battle. Obviously, you know, I've been here in Trout League for a long time. I've also been a bystander watching races. I also get excited when there's competition, and so I understand that some people, you know, and myself included, as somebody that watches these races, would prefer if there were multiple teams fighting for it. But you know, as a team boss, you have to kind of set that aside and say, okay, I'll try to get the best possible driver pairing in. And at least luckily this season it's turned out that they're close enough to each other to give us a championship fight. There will be no team orders at any point, I can confirm that. So I think we're in for an exciting one. I believe they're 12 points apart coming into this race, if I'm not wrong. And we're halfway through the season, so anything could happen still.
Yeah, you're right there. I mean, I say it's very dominated by Younger GP, but your other team as well, CRG, also not completely out of the question. You know, you've got a very strong driver lineup there who are keeping the likes of Younger GP very honest. And, you know, as long as there's no incident in lap 1, you know, we could have a very interesting race ahead of us. Hungaroring, known for its strict track limits because of, like, well, they say it's the Monaco of Eastern Europe. But yeah, apologies if my geography is a bit off there. But, you know, as you can see, the smallest mistake and you'll be in the grass and probably into the barrier as well. On board with Alex Cochran, who wasn't racing until the final minute, to be honest. And it's nice to see, I believe, the new DAC Racing livery with its blue DAC. Sorry, I don't know diddly DAC apparently. Yeah, with the new blue racing trim. Looking at the timing screen, Nico Bossert on top, on his usual form, to be honest, with the 1:14.9, the first driver to break into the 14s. Cody Lawrence not too far off him, just under 2/10. So yeah, all to play for tonight.
The leaderboard is a bit. It's only showing 8 cars right now, but more people have done battle laps in them.
That's usual ACTV fashion, you know. Likes to keep us guessing, you know. Oh, who's actually on top? We don't know. But yeah, we have access to another timing screen that kind of tells us all this information as Alex Cochran comes into the pits. Yeah, another one who's also returning is Case Willems, who also pulls into the pits. Who is out on a lap at the moment? Let's have a look. Let's go with Cody Lawrence, who I believe.
P2 currently in the standings.
P2
wins.
They have a lock up there.
Them. Ooh. I'm into the first sector right now. Decent run coming into the start of the second sector. Very going to be difficult to overtake at this section of the track when race
Purple in the first sector.
Definitely improving now. Purple in the first sector, like you said, coming into the tight chicane right now. Is he going to hop over these curbs? No, he's going to just really avoid those orange sausage curbs. In real life, I think you see him go at least a tiny bit over it. This very technical middle sector. I don't think they're going to go higher than, I think, like 5th gear. As he comes to the final section, short straight into the tight right-hander, comes out to another straight into this very long hairpin, very tight line he takes, using all the road, gonna switch back to the other side for another hairpin, get on the throttle as early as he can. He's pretty smooth, DRS open. As he comes to the line, he sets a 1:14.8. That gets him up into pole position, around 10th over his teammate.
I believe that's his personal
puts
best.
in a valid lap.
I believe that's his personal best. He mentioned to me during practice, just before the session actually, that he really doesn't feel confident in qualifying for this race, but he's obviously lied to me thinking his time. He's doing pretty well there, and at the moment holding pole position.
And Jaden Neal, another one to look out for, goes 3rd fastest. He set to purple sector in the first sector. Not quite there yet, but plenty of time to improve. Jaden Neal is one of these drivers who's just constantly improving with each race. You shouldn't write him out just yet. Hopefully a bit of luck on his side, and he'll be competing with the front runners tonight. And Jaden
Neal for DAC Systems got his first podium out in Silverstone last race. Getting the podium with the 2 jugger cars, just splitting them in 2nd place. They got him up to 5th in the standings, only around 13 points behind Steve Stevenson for 4th. So no, he is a bit of a, for the championship, for the actual title, maybe he's a bit of an outsider, but with competing with the CRG cars, he should be worried. They should be worried a bit about their 3rd and 4th place in the driver's standings right now.
Nico Bossert set to purple first sector, doesn't improve in the second sector, but I'm sure that won't hold him back as he comes across the finish line now and goes fastest again, 2/10 faster than Cody Lawrence. And I think it's going to be a back and forth throughout the rest of this session, to be honest, between those two.
Yeah, purple first and last sector for Nico Bossert. Not an improved middle sector, though, for the German. As Cody Lawrence, where is he on track? He's on the lap currently. He's watching Anton Morel for the Academy team, Junior GP Academy. Finished his lap. He's in 6th place currently with a 15.8. Will he improve? Looking at his time right now, he does have a personal best first sector, as he does improve up to 4th. Just not enough to beat Jaden Neal, a few tenths off, but a good head of... as Keith Williams, the Lioneers car, spins out into the grass.
Oh, and there's a crash between Christoph Boozer and who's Snazir?
You tell me. He might be a new driver. that Aero car that we just saw, Gabriel Tosh in 10th place got past that incident. I was on board with Columba Griffith in the Griffin Gaming red car. Number 19, the Haas Engineering sponsorship was littered around this track. You can see in the halo. Currently on a lap. I don't think he is improving. Got a personal best second sector for the Griffin Gaming red team so far. He's going to come to the line just ahead of this Jungle GP car. I think that is a Cody Lawrence following him on an out lap. As I think he actually might be starting a lap. No, he does not. Okay, thank God. 115.8 for the Griffin Gaming red car as he jumps up to 7th. And Gabriel Tosh is 8th. I think he has improved also. Gabriel Tosh, yeah, he just recently crossed the line and improved to 7th, but now he's 8th. Gabriel Tosh, driving for the home team. Aero Autosport.
Christoph Boozer going off there. On board with Thomas Barbieri, one of the drivers for CRG. Hasn't had the best of luck this season, to be honest, but definitely showing potential. I'll be honest, he's one of my favourites. It really kind of gets me down when this guy doesn't get the performance he knows he's capable of.
Yeah, no.
I think I've just got a soft spot for the French, to be honest. Formula Trout has been lacking a lot of French drivers. We've had a French drought. Was that Columba Griffiths off? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Connor Griffiths off into the last sector. Spun off track, so he's out the way.
Jaden Neal sets a purple first sector and improves on his middle sector. We'll jump on board with him.
Someone's off there.
That has definitely upset Thomas's lap there. I think I've been a bit reserved into that last.
Yeah, now a little factoid about Thomas Barbieri in the CRG car. In every race he's finished, he has finished third. He has finished third every single race. Ooh, it's a big snap with the American Jaden Neal for DSC Systems in the DSC Systems car, and yeah, he's gonna let that Aero Autosport car by. But yeah, I was saying Thomas Barbieri has finished third in every race he has finished, and in one of those even he got a fastest lap. So he's definitely not slow, and if you look back at the other races, he definitely was in the competition where winners. It's another car off, as we saw for just like a split second there. But yeah, no, I think it's getting it all done. Having clean races. Mark Levine, the Dakar Racing car in their new livery off, coming into that third sector, into the more technical part of the track. Seems a lot of people are going off.
Felipe Olsen improves in the middle sector, but I don't think he was enough. He comes into the pits to put on new fresh rubber.
Him as well.
Go on board with Mr. Boozer himself. Where is he?
Christopher Bose in the Griffin Gaming red car. 21. He's going to come to the last sector himself, currently sitting 14th. I do not think that's last.
So,
yeah, it's not last. Just 1 point away. Ryan Hawk hasn't set a competitive lap time, so it's not showing up on the leaderboard. But currently, Christoph Bose coming around the final corner. Will he improve on his time? P14 currently. What will he get? It's a 1:16.5 up to P10 within the top 10. And speaking of the top 10, I think everyone is on C3, so never mind talking about tire strategy. I think everyone has that one figured out. But Hungaroring is pretty notoriously a tire killer, and realize, ooh, that's a Jungle GP Academy car getting in the way a tiny bit of the Jungle GP car. Again, tires may be a bit of a concern for these guys. Hungaroring is a bit harsh on the tires. Obviously, the constant changes in direction, especially in this middle sector. Very slow speed, not slow speed, but medium speed, technical part of the track. Change of direction and just putting a bunch of weight onto your tires, so some heat is bound to build up, and wear might become an issue, especially in longer stints, but we'll have to see in the race. 6 minutes left. 6 minutes left in this session. Nico Bossert still leads. Cody Lawrence still trying to set a fast enough lap. He got a purple first sector in this lap he's currently on. Not the best middle sector. A bit of a snap. Had to let go of the throttle. Coming out of the last corner in this third sector, he does not improve on his time, though. He stays second. Jaden Neal, though, will he cross the line anytime soon? No, he's going through the third sector right now, behind Morel. Ox Cochran coming to the line in that Dak Racing car, that new livery. Snap as that's Columba Griffiths off.
Same, no, not, I'd say it's the same corner again, but no, it's the one before that. We'll have to come into the pits.
Crosses the line, doesn't improve. Keith Williams in 12 for the Lions racing car. I don't think they have scored a point yet this season as a team. Like in its entirety. No, their best result currently is P12 in this season. So.
I think he's cancelled this lap. Let's see if he goes again. I don't think he has any traffic behind him. Won't be holding anyone up. So yeah, on the corner and has a second try. How do you guys? How would you set up your car? So going into like qualifying, would you just do the one lap, or do you reckon the tires come to you on the second lap? How does it work? I guess Maxi would be the best to answer this. Oh, there's another car off there.
Someone else off there again, but generally speaking, we in the Premier Series at least we've rarely seen people do 2 laps. We've mostly seen people always prepare with 1 out lap and then one push lap, mainly because we used to run the hybrid systems, and the battery would discharge after 1 push lap. So it was not really possible to chain faster laps. But now with this V12-R that we're running, obviously KERS does recharge every lap, so it is possible now to do multiple fast runs on the same set of tires.
Doesn't seem like Cyprian has that confidence in the car just yet. Crosses the line. Don't think he improves on that, but
stays behind his teammate P14. Thomas Barry though, personal first sector, as he's a bit ahead of Keith Williams on the track. Never mind. He has given up. Maybe a mistake. He had a personal best first, so his mistake is Gabriel Tosh still P8 as he passes. Passing the boards with his team's logo on it. Ooh, a big snap for Nico Bossert coming into the second sector. Nice catch from the German coming in. Just fully flicked it around. Nice save from Nico Bossert there. It was really scary as he lets his teammate by. But yeah, great catch from him to save that and not damage his car, let alone destroy the engine. That would have been him out of qualifying.
Thomas Ferrari cancelled this lap, but tires are now fully warmed up. Probably has enough battery in the system to go again. Let's see, full beans as he crosses the line. Who wants to walk us through this lap?
I'll walk you through it. Thomas Ferrari coming to start a lap into turn 1, breaks around the 50-meter mark really late, turns in all over that curb. Seems to get a decent exit out of the corner, just straight lining on the gas into this left-hander. Very awkward angle this left-hander is. Making sure not to go out too wide to hit that grass, and then flicking over back through that right-hander. Coming uphill now, the Luis Alonso corner. He comes over the curbing. No, actually, he stays off it, but he gets on that green curbing on the inside and comes through the right-hander. Ooh, a bit of a snap coming out of that right-hander as he sets to slow down to like second or first gear over these curbs. Gets smooth exit out of there through into now the technical part of the Hungaroring, the most difficult part, having to keep medium speed all the way through without breaking the track limits or going wide. Gets stays off these curves actually. So it's that. Ooh, that's his lap invalidated right there.
I don't think he'll have enough time to go again, to be honest.
And he has enough fuel, he'll go for it again, most definitely.
I believe if he has enough fuel, he'll be able to do another lap.
As Felipe Olsen is approaching the line now, I think as he's on lap. Ooh, as he spins on the final corner. It's not what he needed. Felipe Olsen
might just have enough though. It hasn't. I mean, that last corner, you really need the speed to kind of carry it over the line. But let's see.
Going for another one, as I think Griffiths is crossing the line. So is Lawrence and Cochran and Neal. So a few of his competitors coming to start their final laps as well, as we now reach this 50-second mark. Under a minute now left in this session. Could be Lawrence to see how he does. He's been pretty close to his teammate throughout the season, but I think Nico Bossert just had that slight edge in qualifying. The closest pairing on the grid, I'd say, as he comes into the first sector now, about to enter the second sector. Through this uphander, through this uphand left-hander, stays on the curb. As someone spins in front of him through the smoke, he goes. Kimi Räikkönen style. Does not let off the throttle. And keeps going on his lap into the chicane. Getting all over those red and white curves, making sure to stay off the orange sausage curves into the technical middle sector now. didn't get a decent run. His first sector, I think, was pretty decent. No, it wasn't. It actually wasn't an improvement. I think he's like the slightest bit down compared to his teammate. He's around the 10th up on his own time. Cody Lawrence through the second sector doesn't improve as well. Still ever so slightly down on his time. His teammate, I think, about to enter the second one. Still up on his time. He's going to come to the final corner now. Keeps the tightest line he can. Making sure to smooth throttle out of the corner. DRS open. Will he improve? He's about 3/10 down his teammate. No, he runs out of fuel. That's him out of fuel, and that's him not improving. That's his qualifying over. He won't be able to make it back to the pits. You got Bossert, though. He's around a 10th up, as I see on the Delta, as he comes to the final turn now. The German, I think, is going to improve at his own time and just further the gap from his teammate. He comes to the final corner, makes sure to get the smoothest exit possible, slams that DRS open as he comes across the line. He gets a 14.5, almost flat, but it's not. It's a 0.511 as he secures his pole. Mark Levine comes in. He's not going to improve. Cochran's in. Bossert is in. They're not going to improve. Wilson is it's going to be the next one to cross the line. Is that Will? Yeah, that's as also Olsen for Griffin Gaming. He's about to cross the line. The Lemon Series champion for the first season. Wilson is in the pit. Williams is in the pits. Keys Williams in the pits. Felipe also finishes lap. Does not improve as well.
I think that's qualifying, to be honest.
There's a few more cars. I think that is one of the younger Academy cars. No, it's Tosh. It's the home team. 7th currently. He did improve from his 8th earlier in the session. Gabriel Tosh for the home team, Aero Autosport. Let's see if he can improve his qualifying. They got their first points out in Spa with the friend Stoppa. I don't think he's going to improve. No, the home team's going to start 7th here with Gabriel Tosh. As Bossert, I think, is the last one. No, is that Bossert? I think that is Bossert. But I don't think he is on a lap, though.
No.
So, yeah.
That's qualifying, baby. So, your two drivers at the front of the grid once again. And, I mean, how do you feel with that, Maxi?
I mean, I feel pretty happy with that. Obviously, Jaden Neal is also looking pretty strong within a couple of tenths of Cody. And until Nico improved, was within a few tenths of him as well. But, yeah, happy to see the front row locked out. And let's see, it's a long race. They've been unlucky at some of the races each individually, so anything can happen in the race still, and we'll be here watching.
Yeah, I mean, that was quite an eventful qualifying. It's like hard to focus on which driver, just constant lap after lap, people improving, people going off. Yeah, that's typical Hungaroring action, really, there. As we wait for the cool-down period, drivers
for the grid to set.
Yeah, the drivers quickly rush into the toilets. Hopefully they wash their hands afterwards. Maybe get
some water. Right. Because your 95 liters is in the tank for this distance.
Yeah, I'm surprised about Thomas Barbieri's qualifying. You mentioned earlier that he finished third in every single race that he finished in. He seems a little bit off today, making a few mistakes in qualifying and such, but hopefully he can recover in the race.
Yep, as the grid forms for here in the Hungaroring, as we're in the pits watching the safety car right now, but hopefully we'll see the grid in just a tiny second. It's your man. It's the German who seemed to dominate qualifying with his form all season on pole. Nico Bossert, starting in P1 alongside him on the front row, is going to be, if I really just forgot I just results off the top of my head. I'm not that good. On the front row is his teammate Cody Lawrence. That's a Junger GP 1-2. I don't know how I could have forgot that. Jaden Neal and Anton Morrow for Junger Academy. As the second row. The third row is Felipe Olsen and Thomas Barberi. Fourth row is Gabriel Tosh, starting for the home team Aero Autosport, and right next to Columbia Griffiths, the Griffin Gaming red car. The last row in the points is Mark Levine, Axe Cochrane, locking that out for DAC Racing. The final few positions are P11 Christoph Boats for Griffin Gaming red, Keith Williams for Lioneers in P12, alongside him Ty and Vortex. In the last row, Cyprian Stallion, Ryan Hawk for Lioneers, and It says CRG here on the timing, but I think he is a solo driver, Ryan Hawk. Or no, he's the K2. I don't remember. He's a
No,
Hungary
Ryan
Academy.
Hawk. Yep, you JGP Academy. That's it.
We're waiting for these lights to come out now at the Hungaroring. There you go. That's a good gamer. Keep that one. Watching them now stay on the grid, make sure all their setups are ready to go. All the settings are correct. Ready to deploy the curves at the start. 10 seconds of curves these things have. I don't feel we can mention that enough. As you can hear their engines now, the 6 lights come on here for round 6 here at Hungaroring. It's the German on pole with his American counterpart in P2. As the red lights come on and it's lights out. And away we go for here, round 6 of the Premier Series at the Hungaroring. Nico Bosser seems to get a decent start to go on board. Cody Lawrence very close to him. As he goes side by side to turn 1. He's squeezing him into turn 1. I think that's a tiny tap. But everything as a butt test happens in the background. It's just like 2021. Someone is just completely taken out someone in the back of the field. As the Jungle GP cars stay on the lead lap, they keep leading the race. Those are 2 different giving red cars next to each other. I think they have gained a few positions due to that insane accident. We saw it's Jaden Neal, I think, fighting one of the Jungle GP Academy cars, Anton Morel, going side by side as he pushes the JGP car, the JGP Academy car, wide as they're all lined up. But ooh, that's the home driver. That's the home team Arrow spinning out in the background. Gabriel Tosh, not the start he would have wanted at the team's home race. Look at a clean start. Nico Boswick still leading this race. But I think Mark Levine was in that crash at the start. He is all the way in last place. I think it's Mark Levine. And who else? I think that was Mark Levine and someone else. I cannot tell you who it was, though. But flashbacks 2021 as we come to the end of the lap. Alex Cochrane spins out in the final sector. But Nico Boswick still leads this race. Cody Lawrence, P2. It's still a Giant 2-1-2 after lap 1. Let's see where it goes from here. Jaden Neal in 3rd, Antoine Morel in 4th.
Columbia Griffiths in 5th.
5th. Yeah, that incident, like I said, that incident had helped him a bit, gained a few positions. Alex Cochrane is falling a bit more down the grid, Stallion getting past Felipe Olsen. If someone can find out who was that incident between at the beginning, that would be great. It just saw a big pile of smoke.
Both the, I believe that might have been Olsen, no? Because he was high up and now sitting in P11.
Ism, like first race back in like so long, and he's up into 7th place.
Yeah, 7th place into the points. He qualified 13th. Yeah.
Also,
yeah,
both the. Sorry.
You go first, Maxi. Go on. Sorry.
No, both the orange cars in the points, Cyprian Stoyan and Case Willems.
Yeah, let's see how long that lasts for.
Yeah.
No offense.
As we see them now currently. Ooh, as Thomas Berry gets a bit loose on the penultimate, second to last corner. I mean, following one of the orange cars, Keith Williams in that Lioneers racing car. They come to the main straight onto lap 3. Let's see if he can slice his way through these guys. I think he's going to want to keep up that record of finishing 3rd, maybe even better if this race goes away. Is Ty fights with Keith Williams, 4th, 7th place, side by side through turn 2. As they still go side by side, Fernando and Lewis flashbacks like I was saying earlier. If Ty can keep the position, Thomas Barberry now is going side by side. I think he's in the losing position. He is. As they go side by side, he pushes Ty wide.
Oh my god!
Still side by side.
Brilliant move from Thomas there. Oh my!
There.
That's so
Thomas
brave.
gets past.
Oh!
No! Contact.
Ty, no.
Ty gets hit by Keith Williams in the Lioneers car. That's going to be reviewed by the stewards, and I think that's pretty much a slam dunk penalty.
Yeah, I was about to mention that Ty had done so well there to leave the space for Thomas to be able to pull off that move. You know, that takes a lot of cooperation from Ty as well.
Oh, big snap.
And, oh my.
Big snap from Felipe Olsen. Gabriel Toshman was getting past, but getting now stuck behind, battling out Cochrane, the DAC racing car. Around the outside, he tries to go, gets hit by the DAC racing car of Alex Cochrane. Still side by side, we're on the rear wing of the Griffin Gaming car. gets ahead, but he does go wide, so I think Alex Cochran may have a run with the DRS. As Barberi now passed Christopher Bose relatively quickly in that Griffin Gaming red car. He is rushing his way up to try to get back to that top 4.
Yeah, Thomas still in the hunt for the championship. Let's not rule him out yet. You know, he doesn't have the greatest of starts, down to 9th, but claws his way back up to 6th. And we've got Felipe Olsen out.
Felipe Olsen spun. That's not good for him. He's down to 14th, just ahead of Mark Levine.
Considering how well he did in the Formula Trout Le Mans series that we had earlier this year. He doesn't seem to be finding that kind of grip with this car, unfortunately. And we'll obviously get his head down now and make up as many positions as possible back into the points. Hopefully, his teammate, his former teammate Christoph Boozer, still in 7th place.
Placed 2 seconds behind the next car, ahead of Thomas Barberi, who is slowly but surely catching up to Columba Griffiths. Like you said, for Thomas Barberi, still not out of the championship. It's 6 rounds to go. Obviously, that's 25 points for the win in each of those rounds, and 6 points up for fastest laps. It's 156 points still up for grabs, so it's very much not over for the CRG guys at this middle point of the season.
Gaps are forming already, though. Look at that. The gap between 1st and 2nd is already over a second. And, it just shows how dialed in Bossa is. And Lawrence is on the back foot here. Obviously, he'll be trying to hold on to 2nd as much as possibly can. Jaden Neal actually closer to Lawrence than Lawrence is to Bossa. So we'll be keeping an eye out on that throughout tonight.
Yeah, no, Cody Lawrence last time out on Silverstone, not the best race from him. An incident costing him a good starting position and a solid race in general. Was able to claw back some points in that Silverstone race, but that has not helped him. And he sits behind the points, and if it keeps going like this for the rest of the season, it may not look good for Cody Lawrence come even French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard, round 10.
So far this season, they've shared the wins equally, so I think they have 2 wins each between the two of them, the 2 JGP drivers. So it's been fairly equal up till now. It's always I found that pretty much every race.
Keith Williams, I think, is going to be thinking about going around the outside of Christopher Bose in that Griffin red car, and I think Cyprian wanted to follow, just not close enough though. Solid move around the outside for Keith Williams.
Finds himself sandwiched between.
Now.
Oh, jeez!
Big send from Stoyan to get past Christoph. Just doesn't work out. Completely runs into his side pod. Just not able to get ahead. As the battle for P10 is starting to rile up too. Gabriel Toss trying to secure points for as Alex Cochran.
Oh, they're both off!
We really. I feel like, oh my god, we are really cursing these drivers. This curse happening as soon as we switch to them.
Back up to 8th.
Around the outside, now down the inside. Christopher Bose pushes him a bit wide. Christopher Bose is going to have to follow him. That's him into 7th place.
I really like the simplistic look of this car. Very nice colour of teal there.
Spotify car.
No number, no name.
Runs through the van wall and Weck. Just green.
But Barry already caught up to 5th.
This
guy is on a charge.
Up to 5th now for Barry. Now behind the other Griffin Gaming red car of Colombo Griffiths. Let's see if he can get past. Ooh, is a bit unstable there from the Griffin Gaming red car. Caught it though. Thompson Barry though. It's like a heat-seeking missile trying to catch this guy. Coming to the chicane now.
Columba Griffiths also driving a great race after that quite difficult qualifying for him earlier. Finds himself up in 5th place after a great start.
Yeah, Columba not necessarily known for his qualifying pace, but when he's in the race and it's going his way, you never rule him out for a good result. I believe he's Welsh, one of Wales's best drivers. Don't quote me on that.
Ooh, Thomas slides a bit.
One of 3 Welsh drivers.
Well,
Gabriel
really
Tosh
taking...
gets past Ryan Hawk. As Thomas Ferrari is about to move down the inside into turn 1. Seems to be the best place to overtake for most of the drivers here. It's a pretty simple overtake. Job done. He's up into 5th, and now it's time to chase Anton Morel in that Academy car.
Anton Morel and Thomas Barbieri, quite a long time friends and for a long time teammates as well, previously in different series other than Formula Trout. So I wonder how much of a fight he'll put up.
That's Felipe also now. He's in the battle for the last points position of this race, chasing Cyprian Stoyan. As it's pretty close, but Cyprian gets the exit. Coming into Sector 2 now.
It's annoying this because sorry, Max, you go first.
Yeah, I was about to mention we opened the subject of the move that Cyprian attempted on Christoph Böse. Obviously Christoph at least seemingly getting away with that unscathed, which is good to see. But I feel like that's quite a hefty mistake from Cyprian there.
There's a 3-way battle here. Keese, Ty, and Christopher Bose fighting for, I think, 7th place here in the race. I think
Ty's off.
Went off. That's Ty.
His own mistake there, unfortunately. Bit of inexperience, maybe settling in there.
Over to the blink of an eye, I'd barely see him come off the track. And he wasn't.
And Olsen gaining on Stoyan. But the
Olsen
gap
trying to
for
overtake
first,
Stoyan.
the gap for first already 2.5 seconds. I think. There's Bose off.
Christopher Bose. He is off now. Yeah, like Hungaroring, one of the more technical tracks on this calendar. Bunch of medium speed, low speed corners for these drivers, and these curbs too are not forgiving. So it's catching a lot of drivers out here. As you said, yeah, the gap to first, as we reconvene on the point we were just making, the gap to first is just increasing by the lap. Cody Lawrence 2.5 seconds away from his own teammate.
Losing 3/10 on this lap as well.
Is it worth talking about strategy? All the drivers on the C3 compound.
Oh! Thought about it, he just wasn't close enough.
That's a bit of a late one, but I think also just needs to calm it a bit. Try to use the DRS to your advantage. He's clearly quicker than Stoyan, and so I feel like he just needs to be a bit more patient. That there just lost him, enough time. He potentially could have made the move on this straight.
Yeah, you're right there. I think it is just the impatience kicking in now. I think he knows his expectations. He needs to deliver for the main Griffin Gaming team, and unfortunately, he finds himself on the cusp of missing out on points here.
Yeah, see that Linus car just scraping on the ground, entering that left-hander, but Felipe Olsen now much closer as he gained a bit of the time now.
This is a classic Formula Trout Premier Series side. Somebody out of position, one of the faster drivers out of position, making a comeback, meeting Cyprian Stoyan on track and being stuck behind him.
Yeah, is the Romanian defense minister using all of the track to just make his car as wide as possible. I know Maxi hates me saying how good he is at defending, but he's a pain in the backside to get past. I'll let you know that. A lot of the drivers will say that.
Felipe Olsen thought it was an opportunity, just wasn't.
This is going to be difficult to keep here.
But now Felipe Olsen with the run with DRS down the inside. Let's see if we can get it done. It seems pretty simple, honestly. Cyprian tries to keep it around the outside. Maybe the switch back for the Stoyan in that Linus car. I think, it's aggressive defense from Felipe Olsen on the grass even. To try to keep that inside line. But Cyprian Stoyan just around the outside.
He's around the outside. To overtake this man.
Yeah. Stoyan a long time runner in this series, to be honest, and I think he enjoys it as much as any other driver. We won't see the last of him anytime soon, and I'm sure he'll appreciate all the comments that we leave him during this race. He always says thank you afterwards in the DMs.
He's a respectful defense minister.
Yeah, he only presses the big red button when he has to.
Let's see on this attempt whether Olsen can get past. But seems a little bit further away than on the last lap. Cyprian taking a very wide line.
DRS is definitely going to pull him this lap as well. Yeah, he's going to get the pull down the inside. Maybe, no, around the outside. Cyprian defends the inside. Cyprian's there, though. I think he's going to just break. Oh, almost late enough now. He gets officially ahead now. Felipe Olsen up in the P8.
Right there. He's breaking later, Stoyan, but I think he might just have to give up for now and put his head down and see how close he can get. But now Olsen has that clear air ahead of him. You might just start seeing a gap begin to form between these two. But yeah, this is actually the closest battle on the grid at the moment, unless one of the drivers makes a mistake. The gap between first and second, over 3 seconds now. Yeah.
Cody Lawrence may have to be considering a strategy decision if he thinks he has a pretty solid grasp on second. He may be thinking of an alternative strategy to his teammate to maybe try and at least have a chance.
How many laps do these C3 tires tend to last? Do you know?
Well, they usually take them around the halfway point, a bit more than that of the race.
Got any insider information, Maxi?
I can get you that. Wait, I will come back to you. I will come back to you.
Brilliant. I like to hear that. What we expect and what tire are they likely to go on?
I believe they're gonna go about C2.
Okay.
So
going one step harder.
I am reading through the internal chats. Okay. I'm gonna give you some real insider info.
Yeah,
apparently, some of them are considering a 2-stop. There might be alternate strategies, but they don't know whether it is worth doing it. Apparently, this track wears out the tires quite heavily. Yeah, they say the C2 should last 20 to 25 laps. So that's gonna
big range.
Really be the decider.
Yeah, like we were saying, qualifying. Yeah, this tire is known for pretty much, even in real life, destroying tires, being really harsh on them and being very hard to keep them within that temperature window to get them at their best.
It's Ryan Hawk that moving out the way, being lapped.
Ryan Hawk, one of the infamous drivers. I think he races with a mouse and keyboard. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He does.
I mean, hats off to him. Yeah, hats off to him for being able to keep it on track. Well, as I say that, he takes the shortcut. The Ryan Hawk line, as we call it. But yeah, Boss are already lapping cars. We might see more traffic up ahead. But yeah, it hasn't really held him up, to be honest. The younger academy car knowing his position and moving out the way quite abruptly. And it's nice to see the drivers stay on track as well when they get blue flag.
What's happened on the... Oh, sorry. The timing screen there was...
Ignore the timing screen, it's just typical Assetto Corsa things. Hopefully Assetto Corsa will...
Ryan Hawk. Never mind. Yeah, the gaps have seemed to build. Ty is not too far from Mark Levine in 10th. Again, another battle for the last points position in this race. We're not even halfway through this race yet, however, so it's a bit of a while to go for these guys. Every position matters in the grand scheme of things.
I made a couple of mistakes, but still back up to the pace. And a bit of a oversteer there. Nice correction. Doesn't let it hinder him too much. We'll have DRS. Let's just see. It should be a nice, easy overtake. We'll probably go around the outs. No, inside.
The inside of Mark Levine for Ty. We saw him. And he gets it done pretty easily. That's him into P10. And hopefully Mark Levine can try to keep this battle a bit longer before the pit stops start to come.
Well, getting himself back into the points, I wonder if there will be any of the front runners actually attempting the two-stop. You saw how difficult it is to pass here.
Depending how much they struggle on tires, I feel that is the case.
Well, they were mentioning that it is faster on paper. For sure if you're driving alone in the simulations and such, but once you're in traffic, it can hinder you, and the gaps are not really big enough to not meet anyone. I think they'll be thinking of that driving around at the moment.
Well, we'll have to see. If they run the two-stop, they'd have to be pitting within the next few laps, around lap 20.
It's a fairly quick pit stop. Sorry. About to say it's fairly quick pit stop here at Hungaroring, in comparison to other tracks like Silverstone. Obviously, if they go for the alternate strategy with a two-stop, they will have to make that time back. So it's a lot to gamble.
And maybe even a soft
that's a big end, but if you're Cody Lawrence, wouldn't that be worth it? That's what I would. If I was in his position right now, I would be thinking this. Just try to gamble.
In my position, if I want to do that, I do it soon. Obviously, halfway point is coming.
You come out about 5th place. I think just in front of Thomas.
Oh, Ryan Hawk pits.
There you go, Ryan Hawk pits. Felipe
I guess
Olsen
it'll be the
now.
mule for Cody to see if it's worth it.
Case also taking looks like it's the Lioneers line, but looks of things going wide at the last corner, not clipping the apex.
Yeah, not the best run out the corner though. Felipe Olsen down the inside with DRS and just able to easily gets past into turn 1.
Could be
still very close behind though, but just lose a bit of time on the exit.
Be a strategy though. Gift the position to then try and make it back in the second DRS zone. Have you got our second pit of the evening? Mark Levine.
So maybe more than one person has thought this two-stop is worth it. I think Mark Levine did have a bit of damage though from the start of the race, so we'll have to see if anyone else goes for it. Cody Lawrence to the pits. He has pitted. Wow. He's going for the two-stop. Cody Lawrence in the pits.
That's very early.
He is committed to the.
I believe he is going for the two-stop because.
Nope. We're nowhere near the halfway point.
Unless he goes onto the C1, that's the two-stop.
Great camera work. As he comes out of pits now, Cody Lawrence will exit out in P5, like you said.
He's onto the C3 tire again. He's on the C3.
So another step
that's a two-stop. That's no question two-stop. So he is trying to throw the curveball at Nico because he's on the softer compound now. He'll definitely be quicker. He's on the softer tires. He's on the fresher tires. So all Nico can do now is sort of either react and try to basically also do the two-stop, or stay out and pray that Cody doesn't get past traffic quick enough.
Around 25 seconds. The gap between Lawrence and Bottas.
Oh, Bottas pitted. Bottas is also pitted.
He's reacting. He's reacting. So now this allows Jaden Neal though to come into the game because Jaden Neal could just stay out on a one-stop and
I think that may
mess around these guys' race.
As he goes onto a softer tire, he goes.
Yeah, you're right.
He goes onto the C3. No,
that's a C4, I believe.
Yeah, C4. Yeah, you're right.
The second softest tire that is available.
It comes out pretty much where 3 seconds ahead of Cody.
Yeah, that was the gap before, maybe a few tenths, give or take.
But now they'll both be in traffic, so basically, the time that
Bosset's just
Nico
hoping
will
he can
be
get
stuck,
past everyone in front of him.
yeah, the time Bosset will be stuck behind Barbieri and Morel might allow Cody to punch back up.
As Keys pits, I will announce that I will be going for now. I must go, but enjoy the rest of this race as it seems the strategy is getting pretty interesting.
Thank you very much for joining us, and have a good evening.
Thank you, Angel.
And yeah, Jaden Neal up in first, and let's see how long that lasts as Thomas Barbieri now catching P2. And it was only a matter of time, really. This guy has the pace, just found himself. Oh, they're both in the pits.
Both in the pits. Both of them. So I believe that this is still the point where one stop is possible, I think.
Yeah.
If you really stretch it. But I'm curious. Oh, Jaden Neal in the pits. So the leader in the pits. What tire does Jaden Neal go on to? Could we check this?
Jaden Neal is on the C4, so
yeah, so it might be on a 2-stop. This is a 2-stop also.
It looks like they're just doing different. Well, it looks like they're all doing the 2-stop, but just different tires throughout the race, really. So
Morel and Barbieri, are they on the C1s?
Morel is on C4. Morel's on the C4. Ryan Hawk's on the C4. Bose is on the C2.
What is Barbieri on?
Barbieri's on the second. He's on the C3. So yeah, C3 to C3.
Everybody's avoiding the C2.
Yeah. Well, everyone but Christoph Bose, Mark Levine, and Alex Cochran. So, I mean, they made and Columba Griffiths as well. They made a couple of mistakes, so I'm guessing, I think they've just maybe going to the end on that 1-stop maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're on the. Well, they're all on the same conglomerate, I believe.
Yeah, you're right.
Different at the end. Oh, Thomas Barbieri, they're getting a bit of oversteer. But they might know something about the C2 that others don't. But it's interesting because I really expected some people to try the 1-stop, given this is such a traffic-heavy track. We've seen a lot of people, Cyprian earlier basically being a wall for Olsen to try and get past. It was much quicker. I mean, you can see now he's made up a massive gap over Stoyan, but it was still so difficult for him to get past.
Felipe.
And as I say that, he's behind Case Williams again.
Yeah. Olsen is on the C2, so it looks like he's going for the 1-stop. So it's really interesting to see just a range of different strategies unfold here. Yes. I'm sure all the drivers have tested out what they can, and there won't be any guesswork from who knows. But Olsen now.
I've been told the 1-stop is a pretty safe bet in terms of making it. But it is the slower option. I think the C4 tire and the C3 tire must be significantly quicker in race trim. And as Barbieri on the back of Anton Morel there already, and looking to make a pass.
I want to point out, if you do hear any audio glitches, apologies. It's that's from me, and I will try and fix that going forth. But there might be a few crunchy noises here and there, as Tosh is in the pits as well. Barbieri caught up to Morel. See how long it takes for an overtake to appear, but Morel is not one to be messed with, as we can see. Has been in P4 throughout the entirety of this race. That won't deter Barbieri, who probably just red mist underneath that helmet at the moment.
I'm sort of disappointed that Jaden Neal didn't go for the alternate strategy. somebody at the front didn't go, because either one of that top three could have tried it to upset the order a little bit. I think Cody or Jaden, but especially Jaden, I think it would have been interesting if he had tried that. But that's okay. He's racing against my drivers, so I guess that's all right.
Neil, though, like I said, he's constantly improving with each race, and hopefully
strong last race.
Yeah, definitely. I hope to see more of him in the future. Some guys just take to a car better than others, and it can completely switch as the next season comes around. But all eyes on season 12 with this iteration of the RSS car. And let's be honest, I know a lot of drivers complain about certain iterations of the RSS car. I just love how it looks. Like a combination of different eras. That front wing, yeah, the sound as well. It's very nostalgic. It's screaming engine. DRS fully open.
Will he dive for it here? Oh my god, what a dive. And the switchback from Antoine Morel there. He's going to have DRS here. Is he going to go for a lunge? No. Thomas manages to keep that position.
Yeah, and now clean air for him. He'll be hunting down P3, and we should see that Delta chipping away at Jaden Neal. Not to put Jaden Neal down, but I just have full belief in Frenchman, who constantly getting a snap of oversteer. Nice correction.
He has one of the most aggressive driving styles in Formula Trout. He's always an exciting driver to watch. Always, sliding the car, having oversteer moments. It makes you think he'll lose it, but then manages to keep it together.
The front runners now. Big lock up there.
I believe that's Nico Bossert, right?
Yeah! Oh! Bose is off! No! It always breaks my heart to see. Sorry as I flip through the cameras. Ral staying with Barbieri is not deterred by the overtake. In fact, it's probably just spurred him on.
Who was that though?
Oh, who spun out? Christopher Booz.
Yeah.
Booz, Boza, Bizza.
Boozer.
We'll never master it. It will forever be an inside joke. One of these days I'll take German allocution lessons and really master that and show you guys how to really speak German. But until then, on we go. Yeah, the gap dropping between 4th and 5th. And to be honest, Barbieri not exactly catching Jaden Neal. Can I ask, where is Stevenson tonight?
Well, I will make an announcement now in the race.
Oh dear.
And say that he will be out for the rest of the season.
Sorry to hear that.
He's communicated that he won't be able to make it to the rest of the rounds, so I will be replacing him from the next few races. I was supposed to drive tonight, but as you know, some technical issues happened which have led me to commentate instead. But I'll be driving instead of him for the rest of the season because he won't be able to make it to the next rounds.
Technical issues, heeding younger GP there, but it's always lovely to have you alongside commentating, even if it's virtually. But yeah, again, the gaps are forming. We got the closest battle here between Gabriel Tosh and Mark Levine. Mark going into the pits for second pit.
Quite an interesting strategy up there by Mark Levine. I think I think
Oh,
he's
no!
Oh my god, no. No, I'm so sorry, Mark, for cursing you. That was not my intention. And Olsen still stuck behind Case Willems at the moment. You know, well, no offense to Case, but I expected Olsen to be passed by now. As you can tell, you know, he has massive overspeed over Case, but can't manage to get past him tonight. Maybe running some higher wings or something of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to Case. There was that mistake where he, I think, took out one of the drivers on the first couple of laps. But that aside, Case is running a brilliant race for Lioneers at the moment, especially as one of the leading Lioneers car, showing his teammate how it's done. And we love to see it. You know, Case, he is a driver that struggles with confidence issues at times, but like, you know, I think, you know, he does show these kind of, oh no, Olsen.
It's a massive spin.
Hopefully doesn't
gets lapped there by one of the JGP cars. But yeah, Case, you know, he's keeping it consistent this race. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to curse him.
The less we say, the better.
His team hasn't scored a point yet. You know, Lioneers. He's also the driver and owner of Lioneers Racing Team, and they haven't scored a point yet. But both of the cars so far in the points at the moment. You know, Stoyan's in P9, Williams in P7. So yeah, it could be a strong result for them if they can keep it together tonight.
Definitely, and I'm sure he'll be the first person in the interviews later celebrating if he finishes in P7. It will be a win for Lioneers. You know, Case, one of the drivers who keeps harping on that we need a challenger split, but I mean, this is proof that we don't. Case, you're doing brilliant if you can just keep this together. And we've got our first DNF of the evening. Mark Levine has called it a night for him, and it's unfortunate to see. I'm sure he will come back stronger next round. I believe we're at Suzuka next, which is another technical track. You know, a lot of drivers, kind of like Marmite, you either love it or hate it. But a very iconic track.
Obviously, Hungaroring, one of the more iconic tracks as well. Mainly for being the place of the first Formula Trout meet ever.
Yeah, you're right there. A lot of the
really what it's known for.
Guys coming back with sunstroke from that race, I believe.
Yes. Somebody.
There's no shade. Yeah. There's just no shade in this track.
There was no shade. There was no shade.
Oh!
Hi-ism with Cyprian Stoyan. Once again, Cyprian being a Romanian brick wall. A very well-built Romanian brick wall.
Yeah. Solid foundation there. Definitely wasn't drinking any famous grape juice whilst building that wall.
Or whilst driving, but we joke about it, but it is true that this is a very familiar sight. You know, somebody being stuck behind Cyprian. He is quite an aggressive defensive driver, but most of the times he's fair, and it's quite impressive to see. He's been in the Premier Series for a long time now, and always put up a good show for us on stream.
Right there, Lumber Griffiths making a mistake, but I think he still manages to hold on to P6 because of the gap that he's managed to form over 7th. He should be fine with that one.
Antoine Morel got past.
No! Morel's back up to 4th, I believe, with that one. But Hopefully not. Well, yeah, there's a bit of damage, crash with the environment there from Thomas Barbieri. Hopefully not too much structure damage. Be able to continue, and once he makes a mistake that's threatening to the car, he will just call it quits due to the French temperament.
Yeah, but again, there is having an attempt at getting past Stoyan. Ooh, getting very close there. And again, Stoyan survives another lap. But yeah, that's quite sad for Thomas. He was on a good push to make it potentially onto the podium. But once he got past Antoine, he didn't really form a gap at Christophe Bose in the wall there. But he didn't really manage to build a gap to Antoine. Antoine stayed close and put the pressure on him, and I think that's sort of encouraged Thomas into a mistake, to put it nicely.
Alex going wide there, trying to stay close to Tosh. That 10 laps of practice not really paying off for the likes of Cochrane. I wonder if he'll learn from this. Sorry.
Yes. Well, it was similar for Thomas as well. He was telling me pre-race, I've done no practice. I will crash in the race, and he, as you can tell, this happened. Ty isn't there side by side with Cyprian, getting the DRS now, but I think Cyprian might be profiting off of DRS as well on the outside, and we know how that ends when Cyprian's on the inside. Manages to keep it. That was very close there. That was very close.
Hawk
Just as I was saying that. Hawk Pitts, I believe he's several laps behind at this point, so I wonder if he's just calling it a day.
Yeah, Hawk might have to, as Booz is off again.
Booz is off again? What's happening to him this race?
Jeez, he's doing a few pirouettes now, just showing off. Really going for the gravel pit there. Doesn't seem to hinder him too much, as Stoyan manages to hold on to P9 against Ty.
Still.
But Ty's up. Should be able to.
The exit here. The exit here is strong, and who gets the DRS? I think it's Ty that got the DRS there.
No, I think. Well, yeah, I think you're right there. I can't tell. I think they both had DRS.
Yeah, but yeah,
someone's getting a penalty
down there for Tyism, and it demotes Cyprian into P10. Still in the points. Still in the points for now. If he can just keep it on track, I think he'll manage to finish in the points. Gabriel Tosh is 10 seconds behind at this point for the home team. Fighting with Alex Cochrane.
Yeah, it will mean
Alex
a lot.
Cochrane having a bit of a, interesting quiet race, let's say. DC this season not really performing to the expectations that we have of this, one of the oldest teams in Formula Trout.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the DAC fans are questioning where's Southwood, and I'm sure we'll hear why he's not here tonight, competing and holding DAC up to high regard. Oh, and Bossa Pitts, Lawrence now up into first. Does the
round of pit stops happening? Who's gonna follow him in? That's the question. Are they gonna follow him in? Maybe some of them are still, kind of pull a switcheroo for a one stop.
Tosh trying to break the slipstream there, but Alex is having none of it as he tries to stick with him. The RS open, and Tosh not in the points at the moment, but I'm sure he's doing everything he can to catch up to Stoyan. It'll mean a lot to him if he can get at least 1 point tonight for his team. Goes onto the green stuff, and Morel is in the pits as well. Comes out, so Nico Bossa on the C4, Morel on the C4.
Yeah, so I think they're just Cody Lawrence just going on the C3 there earlier to try and maybe stretch this stint a little bit more. But I'm not sure in the end how effective that'll be. Oh my God, Alex Cochran!
What? He's back on the track.
Smack into the wall.
Yeah.
It's a massive smack into the wall and back on track. I believe damage is not on.
Oh, right, that makes sense. Yeah, of course. Yep.
If you remember,
you might as well explain to it.
No. Yeah, well, there was a glitch with the car that allowed it, when heavily damaged, to gain some straight line speed. So I believe for until that gets patched by RSS, we'll be running without any damage on. I think suspension damage is still possible if you hit the wall hard enough, but wings cannot be damaged.
Gary, only just under 5 seconds behind Morel, you know, still in it, to be honest.
Still in it. Yeah, still in it, as you mentioned.
Yeah, just over 11 laps to go around this Hungaroring, and it's flown by, to be honest. There's enough action to just keep flipping between drivers as Case Willems is now into the pits. You know, he's doing great out there so far. Jaden Neal's into the pits. He'll be going on to the C3, I believe.
So I wonder where he comes out in relation to Cody, since he pitted a little bit, well, a lap later. And also the gap from Cody to Nico, 7.2 seconds. And I believe they're both on the C4 at this point, so not much of a tire difference there. Jaden Neal 10 seconds behind Cody himself. So yeah, I think, you know, unless one of them makes a mistake, we're unlikely to see a battle there. But Columba Griffith's not far behind Olsen.
Yeah, you're right there. We'll keep an eye on that gap. But this guy is practically looked unfazed. There's a slight mistake at one point, but I mean, he's built up enough of a gap. 7 seconds over teammate at the moment, and I'm sure we're just going to see that gap extend. No offense to Cody Lawrence, but Bossert, you know, on his day is unstoppable. Let's be honest. He is the one to beat this season. Cody Lawrence, last season's winner, now has to deal with his unstoppable teammate. Both have 2 wins between them, as you said earlier. But it looks like Bossert will make that 3 tonight, unless something like some kind of divine intervention happens.
I mean, to be honest, I don't want to contradict you, but I think, you know, Cody at certain points in this season has looked equally unstoppable. They seem to be switching sort of the role of dominant driver. Race on a race by race basis. You know, last race at Silverstone, you know, Cody had a very unlucky race with internet issues.
Yeah, you're right there.
It's pretty much the only reason at this point that Nico is leading, because you know, Cody scored an eighth place. Obviously, Nico won the race, and therefore a 12-point gap formed. But it would have been Cody still leading the championship, I believe, if he had finished second or third. So, you know, he's been having a good season. But yeah, obviously Nico has come in and matched him and beat him in a lot of races, and it's very close between the two. I think it's really one of the closest scenes we've had in terms of just the 2 teammates at the front battling it out.
Completely right there, and I think that's the beauty of racing sometimes, is when you have 2 teammates like battling it out, duking it out throughout the season, back and forth. You know, one track will suit one driver more than the other, and yeah, I'm not ruling out Cody whatsoever. Don't let my previous comments think that I'm, you know, any preferential treatment between the 2. Cody Lawrence, he puts in the graft, and will happily share his setup as well, or at least what we assume is that setup. I don't know.
No, it is. No, it is. This is something that impresses me about him a lot. Often drivers. I mean, we've both been here so long. Often drivers that are winning, that are being dominant, they sort of they think it's an advantage to keep everything secret, keep the setup secret, don't give advice, don't give anything away. But Cody will happily do it, and he's done it pretty much every season, every race he's done. He's been very active and friendly in doing that with people in Sprint Series and here. So yeah, I find that very impressive. He's definitely the as a team owner, the least difficult driver to manage, because he's just quite open with sharing setups, and quite hardworking. Does the most practice laps out of any driver.
Yeah,
and
you're completely right there.
Definitely see it in the results.
I mean, and this is nothing to put Nico down. Like, Nico, very silent in comparison to Cody, who's very approachable, very personable, and just a very, I think I'd say probably the most friendliest champion we've had so far. And that's not to say other drivers haven't been friendly, but he's just been so kind of vocal and
hey, I'm not friendly.
Yeah,
I'm not friendly.
we have our off and on days, but yeah, no, Maxi, of course, the people's champion.
Of course. No, I'm joking, but yeah. Obviously, I appreciate Cody's character a lot, as well as his driving. Nico, I mean, it's a language barrier. I think he genuinely. He would be a little bit more talkative, but from what he told me, he doesn't really enjoy speaking English, which is why he joined us as well, because it's a German-speaking team. Fair
enough. Sure, he appreciates all the anti-Oxtan bashing in the JGP Discord. I'm sure that's not going on at all.
A lot of it is going on all the time, every day.
Yeah. But it's worth mentioning, as this race comes to the final few laps now, Case Wilhelm's being caught out by strategy there, down in P10.
I thought that was a move there, but it's just Jaden Neal lapping. Sorry.
No, I was just saying I don't think this tyre is suiting Case Wilhelms, who's still 4 seconds behind Ty. And
he was ahead of both of them, no? He was in 8th.
Yeah, you're right there. You're right. But I think that pit stop has caught him out, and Lioneers will have to do some talking behind the scenes. Still in the points at the moment, but I'm sure P7 was what he was hoping for.
Tyism once again behind Cyprian. The wall just keeps being rebuilt.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few more bricks being added to that wall. Strong cement. Very.
The wall moved. It's a moving wall. It just magically appears in front of you after you've smashed through it.
Tyism taking a big hammer to that wall.
Well, he just decided, nah, mate. This is, I'm putting a door in there, and it's just past him very aggressively. There might be some talks with the stewards there after the race.
I think it was a friendly love tap from Tyism there, but he had to do something, I guess, to get past Stoyan. Both of them still on track. Very aggressive move, but I guess it was just letting him know that P8 is mine, baby.
I've passed you once, I can pass you again, basically. But I think also a little bit of frustration. Cyprian does put on a hard defense, so drivers can. As Felipe Olsen, I think, is getting a lap there. I'm not sure, but 1 second behind Columba Griffiths as well. So the lap cars are basically interfering with their race. So
yeah,
Columba Griffiths, they're letting past one of the JGP cars, and basically allowing Olsen to be back on his gearbox that way.
So again, staying close with tyres on, but Case Willems, that gap has come down and he will be battling against his teammate shortly, as things will slowly unfold.
If I was them, I would shoot a little radio message to basically, don't take it too hard, because as we said before, no points this season. Halfway through the season, you're both in the points. You should be keeping it that way.
Team director will probably be calling for Lion Ear rules, whatever code word they use. Yeah, orange rule. But yeah, I think out of everyone tonight, I think Case will be disappointed with that result, even if it is points on the board for both drivers. Just thinking what could have been. I want to know what happened, because he was looking pretty strong in P7. I don't think he made any mistakes, to be honest. Something just went down at the pit stops.
Who would be our driver of the day then?
It's hard not to say Bossert, to be honest, but I'm going to say Columba Griffiths, to be honest. He's just able to kind of come alive in that race. He hasn't got the pace to take it to the front runners, but kind of been unstoppable in the midfield. Thomas Barbieri unfortunately made a couple of mistakes and probably miss out on P4 unless something comes alive in the last 3 laps.
Case Williams are now on the gearbox of Stoyan. What's going to happen there?
Language.
But mine. I think mine would be Griffiths also, because he's had a bit of a quiet race in a way. He's not been showing up at all.
Team orders.
Team orders right there, happening in front of our eyes. Good thing we caught it. But yeah, I think it would be Griffiths as well, because he's had a bit of a quiet race. He's not featured on stream that much, but that's probably a good thing on this race.
Yeah, maybe.
How many crashes how many crashes have happened.
Yeah, but that we cause somehow, we just look at them and then they just say it's
on board and they bin it.
My drive of the day, I would have to say Columba Griffiths. Like I said, he's completely off the pace in the front, the battle for the front. But yeah, I think this will give him a bit of confidence going forth, hopefully. But yeah,
Cyprian Stoyan also on a strong drive. You're
right there.
Not the fastest driver on the grid, to be honest, but always manages to put himself into these positions sometimes where he makes life difficult for other drivers.
I was about to say how close Barbieri managed to bring that car to Morel, and then all of a sudden into the walls, unfortunately. I think he's gonna have to settle for 5th at this rate, unfortunately. But yeah, it's been a grueling battle for everyone tonight, besides the front runners.
This will be the first time Thomas finishes off the podium this race. He's DNF'd one of the races, or DNS'd, I am not quite sure, but he didn't get done. Ty Ism there has lost the position to Case Williams. So the team order is working quite well there. Case managing to get past Ty, and potentially getting a couple more points that way. But yeah, I was mentioning that Barbieri had finished on the podium of the race, and it'll be the first time he does not do so.
Bossert coming across the line to start the final lap, and I can't believe how fast this race has gone. I mean, this is just what happens when there's just so much action on track. It hasn't been a battle for first, to be honest, but the midfield has very much entertaining tonight. Bossert comes through, enters the second sector now. Yeah, Case Wilhelm's clawing back to 8th. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that, considering where he was just a couple of laps back. Yeah, who knows? Maybe he might become my driver of the day at this rate. Let's see, Bossert going into the final sector now. The gap between 8th and 9th has dropped, and yeah, I think that's all she has to write. That's all she wrote. As Bossert comes around the last corner and has looked completely unfazed tonight. This guy will be celebrating in German style, I'm sure. Congratulations to Bossert as Lawrence finishes in second. And yeah, I mean, it looks like this will be the final order tonight unless something dramatic happens. Columba Griffiths, a lap down, comes across the line. Jaden Neal in 3rd. Olsen finishing as well in 7th, a lap down. Anthony on the leading lap comes across the line now in 4th. He'll be happy with that one, I'm sure. Thomas Barbieri, though, just a second behind in the end. He'll be thinking what could have been tonight. Those few mistakes. Just that's Hungaroring, baby. It will catch a lot of the most experienced drivers out. And yeah, what a night for racing. My palms are very sweaty. Mom spaghetti. But yeah, what an evening. I'm sure a lot of drivers will be popping into the interview out of breath, because this track just takes a lot out of you.
Oh, Alex Cochran already in here. Should we?
Yeah, why not?
Wait a bit or get him in? Okay.
Let's get him in here as we switch to the interviews. Alex Cochran, walk us through how much 10 laps experience does to a person. Nice one, Alex. Thank you very much for the input.
Thanks for the input. Well, I guess whilst Alex fixes his microphone issues, we might speak to Case instead. Oh,
yeah.
My microphone's fine, just no one's talking to me.
We're talking to you right now. Hi, Alex.
We were asking you how much 10 laps practice does to a driver.
Hello. Yeah, hello, everybody. I have no idea what you said, so yeah.
Well, answer the question.
Oh, there we go.
No? Okay. Thank you, Alex, for the interview tonight.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Case, let's get Case Williams in here.
Case, what a drive. Points for both team, for both teammates.
Drivers.
Are we not reaching these drivers?
I think we're what's happening? Case, can you hear us?
I'm here. Yep.
Yeah. Are you gonna say anything?
Answer the question.
I didn't hear a question.
Okay.
Well, we asked you. Both of your you and your teammates, both in the points for your team. How do you feel about that?
Sorry, I only heard both drivers.
Oh, sorry.
I'm pretty ecstatic, to be honest. I think this is my first finish now. First points finish now, I think, since... I'm not sure if I scored points last season, but doesn't matter. Double points finish for the team. Definitely one of the better races I have done. I find kind of surprising because I didn't practice as much as I wanted to. But yeah, I'm very happy with the result. I think P8, I think I finished, in P10. Yeah, I was trying to do a bit of an undercut on Felipe, but I think his pace in the end it was just too quick. Yeah, it was great racing with him, great racing overall. Yeah, it was pretty great. I enjoyed this one more than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, you're just proving that we don't need a challenger split after all. No shots fired.
No.
But yeah, tell us. I mean, you were P7 for a lot of that race.
What's your feel on his talking because I can't hear him in Discord? So.
I'm talking. Can you not hear me? Maxi can hear me.
I can hear.
Can't either.
Really?
Alex can't either. There's something happening. Well, anyway, I'll be a translator. I'll be a messenger then.
Okay.
What did you want to ask? Sorry.
Oh, just anything.
I'll read it.
Just literally anything.
Anything.
Well, on topic.
On topic. Well, Alex, how do you feel about that race? I saw you writing in the chat there that you're quite unhappy.
That was horrendous.
Oh, would you explain why?
Absolutely horrendous. I mean, the start was terrible. I bogged down at the start. That's obviously just one of them things. Yeah, then someone went bowling turn 1, which was fine. Got away with that. And then, yeah, I think I probably broke my record for the most number of unforced errors in a Trout League race ever.
Wow, that's impressive because
at least 6 or 7 major spins, like 360-degree into the wall high speed spins, and probably 10, missing apexes by 50 meters and
right.
Yeah, not a good time.
Not a good time. Did you have any incidents with anyone during the race?
I didn't crash into anyone. No, they were just all alone. That's the problem. It's why it's so frustrating. Yeah, I mean, it's just like the car. The car was just so on edge, and I've been trying Felipe's setup, and I don't know if we just don't gel. Like the diff settings that he runs is completely different to the diff settings I run.
Felipe was struggling a lot during the race too. We noticed on stream he had a few spins on his own, and he wasn't driving a particularly clean race himself. So maybe that's something to look at for the Dak Griffin conglomerate.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's for me. I like a car that slides on throttle. I like a car that has quite a lively rear. But this is just I just can't get it to do that. Yeah, it just goes and you can't save it, and the spins take 5 seconds before grip comes back. So you just lose so much time.
I'll be having fun with that in the future races then. Yeah, thank you for your interview and your feedback.
For streaming and everything.
No problem. And I'll get Cody Lawrence in here next to give us his opinion on the race.
Hello.
No, Cody can't hear either. Well, Cody, I'm going to be the one asking the questions then. Tell us the story of your race.
Well, just need 2/10 of pace, really. I mean, honest to God, that's what it was. I think this is the first time I can say I got beat straight up since Bahrain. Nico had me beat in Bahrain. I think we both had unfortunate events in the last 4, and I think in this one it was at least I got beat straight up, and I can take that on the chin. You know what I mean? I might have lost a little bit with blues, but I think we all suffered with the blues, and yeah, I mean that's really what it is. Good job to Nico. His C4 second stint was really I think the catalyst. I thought the 3 was better than the 4, but just too much traffic, unfortunately, in that stint, and that kind of just set the tone.
Yeah. In the commentary box, we were wondering at some point if you or Jaden Neal were maybe not going to go for a one stop to try and maybe just throw a spanner in the works, throw an alternate strategy, and do you think that would have been worth it?
No, absolutely not. The left front was pretty well gone after 16. I should have actually boxed after 16 because I just ran out of left front tire. I tried managing it. That's kind of why I slipped away from Nico. Is I was trying to manage the left front. I didn't feel like I could keep going at the pace I was going, and then I still had left front issues at the end of my stint. And yeah, no, the 2 just was not a good tire from what I was testing, and I think if I tried it, it would have been a swing and a miss, unfortunately.
Yeah, we saw a lot of drivers avoiding the C2. I feel like towards the back of the field, some people were trying it, but you guys at the front were stayed away from the C2, all running C3 and C4 pretty much.
Right. I mean, it's not an issue of the temperature, right? It's just too low grip, and once you lose the left front tire, you're just you're out to sea without a paddle. Really, yeah. You are in truth, and would have been interesting to try, but I just would not have had a chance. Maybe Jaden would have got me, in fact, if we had gone 2 and I'd gone 1.
Right. Understandable. Well,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was gonna mention, now you're sitting 19 points behind, I believe, Nico. So it's really all to play for still, and I
We'll see
think
on that. We'll
it'll
see on
be.
that.
No. I know you like to talk down about yourself, but I'm confident that you'll put on some good races in the next rounds.
I think I need to sneak an extra 10 horsepower in the car. Maxi, see what you can do on that one.
Yeah. I'll call up Binotto and
Give
see
me the
what he can do
2019 Ferrari.
see what he can do on the engine.
There you go. There you go. No, I need 2/10, and I need to figure out front tire dag because I think Nico does a better job on that to me, and that's something I'm usually good at is my tire dag, and I'm missing a step there. So we'll try not to slip too far. I have to take a step up, and that's what's down. That's what's down to for
But
me.
I feel like these moments, at least speaking from personal experience in sim racing, is it's really these moments where you get better at sim racing when you have somebody challenging you this way and really making you get a bit frustrated with the fact that they are faster, they have beaten you straight up, but for the next races then you try to find a way to beat them.
Absolutely, and then I know Nico's very, very quick, and I'm getting 100% effort from him. I'm sure. So it's my job to take that step up and be able to challenge him. Really,
Yeah.
That's my
And
responsibility, I suppose. So
yeah, I'm sure you will.
yeah, thank you very much for posting
Yeah.
these, streaming these. It's well appreciated. Hopefully, you can do a
Thank
little
you.
bit better next time out at Suzuka.
Yeah, I love to see that. And I think, Kilky, I don't know if you're still here,
I am, yeah.
but I think that's going to be a close to our stream. Thanks,
Yeah.
nobody else in the interview room. Thanks, Cody, for the interview.
Of course, thank you very much, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Have you got any messages on behalf of Nico, Maxi?
I don't think so. He was saying he was just complaining about blue flags in the chat.
Fair enough.
Nothing. I think nothing else major to say. He keeps quiet post race.
Bossert, strong, silent type. Yeah, does what he does best. What a race! What can I say? It was always going to be between the likes of the younger drivers. Unfortunately, things didn't come together for Thomas, but Suzuka is only a few nights away, I guess. When is that race? Don't mind me asking.
It is on the 5th of April, so that's in 2 weeks from now.
Okay, yeah. Well, you heard it there. 2 weeks from now, put that in your diary. If you liked what you saw tonight, come join us. We're always looking for more talent. We're always looking for just people to join the community as well. We've got a very live community. If you just want to come say hello or what, more than welcome to. Thank you very much for watching us tonight. Thank you, Maximilian Younger, for commentating alongside me. And
My pleasure.
it's always a pleasure for me as well. Nice little rapport that we have from the years that we've had together. Know you better than some of my family members. but yeah, unfortunately we had a bit of a communication breakdown there. For some reason people couldn't hear me, but Maxi asking the important questions, and that's all that matters. Come join us in 2 weeks' time where we'll be racing around Suzuka, and I'm sure we'll see all the drivers refreshed and on their best form. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good night, everyone.